Hey guys, welcome back to another weekend edition of the Chuckload of Comics show. You guys are tuning in to a really, really special week. We had a lot of great nerd news we're going to break down for you. The Irishman, the Martin Scorsese film, has premiered at New York Film Festival, and the critics are raving about this masterpiece. We're going to read the first Twitter reviews of this film for you. Joker has finally hit theaters after the long-awaited movie, so we're going to give you our full spoiler review of Joker. It's absolutely spectacular. And Rise of Skywalker, in honor of Force Friday weekend, which this is, we're going to break down all the new character posters that dropped this week for Rise of Skywalker. So before we get into all of that amazing nerd news, I want to go ahead and introduce you to our panelists. Joining us here, as she does every single week, the hardest working woman in YouTube, the beautiful and talented Shauna. How are you doing? Are you excited to talk about the Joker?
Doing amazing. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to talk about the Joker. It's going to be so much fun.
Well,
oh my gosh,
I know,
so
I can't wait either. Well, joining us here also for the first time in a really, really long time, Kyra is back on the Chuckload of Comics show. How's it going, Kyra?
Going great.
What have you been doing lately?
Just living the life, seeing Joker.
All right.
Talk about
We're
it.
going to get into Joker in just a couple minutes, but before we do, from the YouTube channel BA in the House, joining us here is Andy Lindsay from BA in the House. Andy, how's life in the world of wrestling?
Oh, it's changing. It's changing rapidly. Things are afoot here, man. We have people being signed, people being fired, leagues being born, leagues that are
That's
threat of
fantastic. I'm so glad you told us that. This is not a wrestling show. This is a nerd news comic book show. So, guys, before we get into all the nerdy goodness of this week, and what a week it was hitherto undreamt of.
That's number one for this show.
That's one. I'm going to try to say it at least three times in this episode. Ace Comic-Con. If you've been watching our show for the past couple weeks, you know we're giving away a pair of 3-day passes to Ace Comic-Con every single week. Ace Comic-Con is 5 short days away. It's coming to the Donald D. Stevens Convention Center here in Chicago, October 11th through the 13th, and we're giving away tickets. So, this is the last week we're doing it, guys. Before we give you this week's word of the day, we need to pick last week's winner. So,
dun, dun, dun.
I have here in my hand 75 names.
Wow.
Gosh,
That means 75 people watched our show?
People are loving this contest. We've got a lot of great winners. This is the last week we're doing it. We can't wait to meet all of you guys at Ace Comic-Con. So let's go ahead and just rip off the Band-Aid and pick this week's final winner. Something about contests just makes me happy.
Yeah.
It's fun. This is exciting. This is the most exciting part of my entire weekend right here.
The suspense is killing
It's
me.
killing us. So after the break,
Pick a
this
winner,
is it,
Chuck.
guys.
Pick a winner.
This
Come
is it.
on.
This person is going to get a pair of 3-day passes
Oh my
to
God.
Ace
Really?
Comic-Con. And that name is
Andy Lindsay.
Dreana Lee Vanzo.
All right, Dreana.
Dreana Lee Vanzo, pack your bags. You are going to Ace Comic-Con next weekend.
Nice.
Good
You and a
job,
friend.
Dreana Lee.
You and a friend, man.
So, if your name is not Dreana Lee Vanzo, and it probably isn't, unless you're the Dreana Lee Vanzo, this is it. This is our last word of the day. We got one more chance for you guys to win. Step number 1 to winning this contest, you have to be a YouTube subscriber. You have to subscribe to the YouTube channel. So take a second, click that subscribe button, join the YouTube Chuckload of Comics family. Have you done it? All right, everybody subscribed? We're good? Okay, this week's word of the day. In honor of Taron Egerton, who's coming to Ace Comic-Con, he's going to do a massive panel. In his honor, today's word of the day is Kingsman.
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 right.
So take the word Kingsman, copy and paste it, send it to chuckloadofcomics@gmail.com.
And subscribe.
Click the subscribe button.
forget.
Send the word Kingsman to chuckloadofcomics@gmail.com. Be sure to leave your name. We actually got a couple of entries and people didn't even actually leave their name. We still put them in the pot, but make sure you leave your name.
So nice.
Say a little something fun about yourself. Say who you're excited to see at Ace Comic-Con, and send the word Kingsman to chuckloadofcomics@gmail.com. Have I explained it well enough?
I think so.
Definitely.
Any confusion whatsoever?
Is it okay if I enter?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good.
Yes, it is. Even though you probably have press credentials anyway to go to Ace Comic-Con. So, guys, good luck. I hope you guys win. We're going to contact the winner on Wednesday. So let's go ahead, rip off the Band-Aid, and break down this week's nerd news. All right, guys, so our first big nerd news story of the week, the Martin Scorsese movie, The Irishman, has finally premiered to critics at the New York Film Festival last weekend, and critics are absolutely raving about this gangster, this reunion of the Goodfellas gang. We're going to read the critics' tweets. They are absolutely loving it. It's currently sitting at 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is incredibly exciting. I was a little bit worried about this film, but now we're going to read the tweets for you right now, but people are loving it. The first tweet review comes from Brett Redacted. Brett says, The Irishman, an instant Martin Scorsese crime classic that's everything you want it to be and more. De Niro's best work in ages. Pesci lights up the screen, and Al Pacino as Jimmy Hoffa screaming about the Kennedys is the peak of cinema. Big praise, both for Scorsese, both for De Niro, both for Al Pacino and Joe Pesci. Shauna,
What?
I know I'm throwing you for a loop here. You're not ready. What do you think about Brett Redacted's tweet there?
I think it's amazing. I'm excited, man. Like Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci and Al Pacino. You're bringing them all back together. This is so cool.
I know. I'm
can't
very, very
wait.
stoked. Well, let's go ahead and read the next
On
one.
Netflix, let alone.
I know. Well, the next one comes from Chris Evangelista, who writes, The Irishman is a masterwork. Funny, epic, and most of all, melancholy. It's Scorsese confronting aging, legacies, and morality. I may or may not have teared up at the end. Poor Chris Evangelista teared up at the end of The Irishman. I like that he put the word funny in it. So apparently it's got some comedic tones in it, which is, I mean, Pesci in a Scorsese film always seems to crack some jokes.
Yeah, he does.
He always kind of seems to be the comic relief of
the one, yeah.
of the Scorsese films. The next one comes from Jordan Hoffman. Jordan Hoffman writes, The Irishman is not Goodfellas Casino Part 3. Different pace, different tone. It is, however, absolutely fucking fantastic, and I am floored. All hail the king. Good for you, Jordan Hoffman, for throwing an F word on Twitter. Sometimes you just can't contain yourself.
Wow.
Yeah, fucking amazing as well. He says fucking fantastic.
And he says, "All hail the king." He's
All
obviously
hail the
talking about
king. He's talking about Scorsese, I'm sure. So this last one comes from Kevin L. Lee, who writes, Boy, The Irishman. He starts out with the word boy. Boy, The Irishman is a fitting homecoming for De Niro, Pacino, Pesci, and Scorsese's ode to gangster cinema. Hilarious and sharply written, a portrait of morality and legacy, told like a culmination of everything we have ever seen in this genre. It's long but never boring. That's really important. He's the first person to mention that it's long. This movie's clocking in at 3.5 hours long.
Wow.
It's 3 hours and 30 minutes. And I think that might be one of the reasons why it didn't get a cinematic release.
Holy
It's getting a
crap.
very limited theatrical release. It's hard to sit in a theater for 3.5 hours without an intermission.
No
Yeah.
kidding.
So it is getting because it's so great, because they want Oscar contention, it is going to get a very limited theatrical release for like 2 weeks, just so it has Oscar
Right.
potential. Because, I mean, that's like one of the rules. It has to be in theaters for X amount of weeks.
Yeah.
And then it's going to drop on Netflix really, really soon. So get excited, man.
I'm excited.
I couldn't be. Andy, I want to talk to you. Was this movie on your radar at all? Like, did you know this movie was coming out? What do you know about it? Do you know this is obviously they're bringing the gang back together from Goodfellas. How aware were you this movie that was even there?
To be quite honest, I knew the gang was coming back together. I didn't know if they had a script. I didn't know the concept of the script, and I thought it was just going to be like a Departed 2.
Right. Yeah.
You know, but once to be quite honest, I found out it was about Jimmy Hoffa like 2 weeks ago.
Al Pacino as Jimmy Hoffa.
Which I will say, the only other spectacular Jimmy Hoffa movie was Hoffa, starring the Joker, the 1989
Jack Nicholson.
Joker, Mr. Sir
Jack Nicholson as Jimmy Hoffa.
He
One of
said
the greatest.
Joker. I was thinking Joaquin Phoenix.
I'm like, wait a
Oh, we'll get to
second.
that in just a
We gotta
second.
twist
the
it.
actor, not the golfer. So yeah, I'm so ecstatic. About
Yeah, well,
this.
Shauna. I mean, obviously we've all seen the photos. This is the big buzz of this movie is the DeAging technology.
Right?
The fact that they're taking these elderly actors and they're using the very most expensive de-aging technology to bring them right back to the ages they were when they did Goodfellas, and they really knock it out of the park.
Right?
Like, if you see the photos of De Niro, you not only see him young and old, you see De Niro in many stages of his life. You see him
know, it's so
in, like, World
crazy.
War
That's
II. You see him a little bit
great.
older. You see him a little bit older. You see him a little bit older. And I'm hoping that doesn't take me out of the film. Like, I'm
Right.
hoping they do it just as well as they did with Sam Jackson and Captain Marvel.
That was a good
Right.
one.
Oh, my
They've
God.
gotten really good at the de-aging technology.
Couldn't agree more.
We've come a long way since Tron Legacy, which was absolutely the worst ever de-aging
You
technology.
went there.
Kyra, did you know this movie was happening? I mean, and now that you do know, do these tweets raise your excitement level at all? Are you going to see it in the theater? Are you going to wait till it comes out on Netflix?
I think I want to see it in the theater.
Yeah.
I think I kind of want to do both. I mean, I didn't know it was going to be 3
3.5
hours.
3.5 hours.
3.5.
Which is nuts.
Which, I mean, with that cast, I mean, I don't think I could probably go past 3.5 hours, to
Yeah.
be completely honest. But I didn't really know what it was going to be about with that cast. I figured it had to be
Gangster
some
film.
type of gangster film,
Yeah.
which, I mean, I feel like everybody feels good about to see them all again. But, yeah, I didn't really know a lot about it, but now all these tweets, all these
Does it
reviews.
raise your excitement level?
Yeah, I mean, God, like the guy dropping the F-bomb. The one starting on his tweet
Oh,
with boy,
Jordan Hoffman.
period.
Right?
I'm like, whew.
Yeah.
But,
The
no,
man
I'm
knows
really
how
excited.
to speak if you say,
All right, well, guys, if you're one of the few people on the planet that doesn't have a Netflix subscription, you might want to go ahead and get one now because The Irishman drops really, really soon, just in a matter of weeks. I think it's like November. Probably should have written this down. Probably should have done my homework.
Right.
Find out exactly when it drops on Netflix. But it drops really, really soon.
Soon enough.
Get excited. Let us know in the comment section. Are you excited for The Irishman? Were you already excited? Do these tweets raise your excitement level at all? Let us know in the comments section. So, right now, this is the moment of the show I've been waiting for about a year now.
We all know what's happening right now.
Joker has finally dropped in theaters. I remember it feels like yesterday we were sitting at Home Run in Kyra,
Yes.
and we heard the news that Joaquin Phoenix was going to be cast as Joker in the new Joker movie. Very exciting. The excitement level for this movie, for myself, has been crazy, crazy high. Lately, there's been a lot of negative buzz about it. And just a lot of noise, a lot of crap. A lot of people like worried about, is this going to incite violence and yada yada. So much crap. But I was just really, really excited about this film.
Of course.
Excitement level on an all-time high. Well, we went and saw it last night. And let me just say, this movie is not for everybody.
Right?
It's really, really not for everybody, but I got to tell you, it is for me. I absolutely adored the Joker. This is cinematic gold. It's one of those few comic book movies that transcends the comic book genre.
Wow.
This-
You just said it.
This isn't a comic book film at all. This is
Right.
pure cinema. This is Todd Phillips absolutely crushes this movie. Now, if you're thinking this is a comic book film, if you're thinking this isn't a movie about the Joker at all.
Right.
This is a movie about this character,
Yeah.
Arthur Fleck.
Yes.
He doesn't really become the Joker till the end of the movie. And this is a spoiler
Spoiler
review.
alert.
This is going to be a spoiler review. So if you haven't seen it, maybe
Turn it off.
maybe go see it. Maybe go to a theater and go check it out.
Pause and go check it out.
well, they would have to stop watching Chuck Load comics
If
in
you
order to see it.
if you think this is a movie about the
Never
Joker, you're in for a rude awakening. This is what's interesting about this movie, and I'm going to talk a lot. And I'm going to throw it to you guys in just a second, but the big buzz kind of reviews for this was it's a man's descent into madness.
Yeah.
I completely disagree with that. This is not a man's descent into madness. This movie starts with a man at the very depth of madness.
Right?
The movie starts with him really talking to his psychiatrist, and he
Yeah.
is already at his very lowest point. It isn't until he kills somebody on accident that he actually starts getting better. It's actually, in my opinion, and it's probably not a popular opinion, this is more about a man's rise from madness. He's at his all-time low, and it isn't until bad shit starts happening that he actually starts getting better. Like, bad stuff becomes his medicine. It becomes like something that actually
Absolutely.
brings him out of his shell, makes him a better person. Shauna, I'm going to throw it to you first, and I'm going to throw it to everybody. So just initial reactions, without getting into too much detail. Shauna, we all loved it,
Yeah.
but what's your first thought when you walked out of the theater?
My first thought when I walked out of the theater was that this movie's amazing.
Mhm.
Like, it's not a comic book movie. It doesn't need to be a comic book movie. Just because it's called The Joker, it wasn't about Batman. It wasn't
Right.
about anything else. It was about a person with a mental illness. Is
Right.
what it was about.
Absolutely.
I'm getting goosebumps talking about it right
Right.
now.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was so good. I can't wait to see it again. I thought it was amazing.
Well,
I
that's a
can't
good
say
point.
anything else.
Is this the type of movie you would go see 2-3 times? Is it like, because it's a very emotionally gut-wrenching film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Goes there.
Is this the kind of movie you would go see again and again and again and recommend to people?
Yeah.
Because it's a really dark film.
I want to see it again.
Kyra, I know you've been excited about this movie for a really, really long
Yes.
time. I'm kind
Oh
of
my
curious,
gosh.
like, what was your anticipation level when you went into the film, and was it what you were expected it was going to be? Was it completely different than you thought it was going to be?
I'm one of those people where I walk in with no expectations. I knew right away when Joaquin Phoenix was casted. I knew right away. I feel like he was going to kill it no matter what.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it was going to be like a comic book based movie. I didn't know where they were going to go with it. But like Shauna said, I was absolutely just the whole movie. I was just on edge, waiting for the next moment. I mean, within the first couple minutes, you're just like, holy, like they're going here.
I was
just
gripping the arms of my seat the entire film.
Oh
It's
my
so
gosh,
engaging.
yeah.
It's so gripping, and it's really just a one-man show. I mean, it's just a camera following Joaquin Phoenix, his character Arthur Fleck, the entire time.
Yeah.
Andy, I know this movie holds a very special place in your heart. Not to air your dirty laundry, but someone who struggles from depression from time to time.
And I'm single too.
And he's single.
Get
ladies.
at him, ladies.
You walked out of the movie like kind of a changed man. I mean, the first thing you said when you walked out was, "See, guys, that's what it's like to live with depression."
Yeah.
Like, that's why I think this movie, everybody says this movie's so dangerous, right? But I don't think it's dangerous. I think this is a movie that needs to exist. People need to see this movie, especially in the culture that we live in right now.
For sure.
This gun culture. Whenever anybody talks about, I'm really analyzing the fuck out of this movie right now. But I mean, people talk about gun control and violence in America. The first thing they say is mental illness, mental illness, mental illness. Well, this movie exists, so you can get a first-hand perspective of what mental illness looks like through the eyes of a mentally ill person. They don't know they're crazy, but this is what it's like.
You know what part in modern times they could add to, but it just would have threw an entire wrench.
Who's that?
From more of a current era, we can say there was no talk about his health insurance.
Mm-hmm.
There are people, because there are scenes in there where he has a mountain pile of drugs.
Yes,
they're coming from the great city of Chicago. There are also mentally unstable people now that couldn't afford,
who can't get medication.
So if we have someone that is to the Joker is extreme, but he can't afford his pills, then you have the
making of a killer.
Chicago, shit.
Yeah.
I got nothing to say.
Absolutely.
I mean, what's so interesting about the character Arthur Fleck is, I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but he's so low until the point when you watch the trailers and you hear the buzz about this movie, you think, okay, this guy's a madman, he's a murderer, he's a killer. But his first murder was absolutely by accident. It was an act of self-defense.
Literally.
That really set him apart. And once that happened, people started to take notice of him. That's when a light switch went off in his head. He's like, holy shit, I did something. And when you watch the trailer, he's like, I always thought my life was a tragedy, but now I realize it's a comedy. Dude, your life's a tragedy. I don't know, you're crazy. You were right the first time. Shauna, at what point in the movie did you just like, what was your favorite part of the film?
I'd have to say, like, when I think the moment that he realized he was relieving his tensions was on the subway when he killed those men, because you always saw him in the beginning with this uncontrollable laughter, right?
Yeah.
And then after he killed the people on the subway, and then he went into that bathroom and he just like
the dance
danced
It's
around.
my favorite.
And then you know what? He didn't laugh uncontrollably pretty much after that.
Good point.
He like it showed
that was his medicine.
That was his medicine. And so he was like, wow, you know what? I don't have any more medicine, like actual pills, but this helped me, and I feel much better. And he can dance it off.
When he's trying to act like a normal person, he's freaking out inside.
Right.
He's like just a powder keg ready to explode. He can't stop laughing. Interesting point. Joaquin Phoenix actually, to train for the role, he actually went to mental health facilities, hung around with people who actually have that illness. It's a real illness when you just have uncontrollable laughter. He actually hung out with those people and really got, a vibe for it. He really dug deep in this role. Lost 50 pounds for it.
That was insane.
The physicality of this role. I can't say enough about Joaquin Phoenix in this movie. If he doesn't get a nomination, I'll shoot my television.
I'll help you with that.
I think he should win. It's so far the best acting I've seen so far this year. I don't know what else is coming down the pike.
Can't agree more.
But it's clear. I mean, it's the best role, and a lot of people. It's obvious, Kyra.
Yeah.
People are going to compare this to Heath Ledger's Joker.
Absolutely.
They're going to be like, well, which was better, Heath Ledger's Joker or this Joker? I think they're completely two separate entities altogether.
Yeah. No, I mean, you got to love Heath Ledger's Joker. That's going to go down in history as one of the best performances. But I mean, Joaquin Phoenix just, I don't know. I just, like you said, it's a different perspective.
Yeah.
I feel like you have The Dark Knight when the Joker was in that. It was more of just so many different character developments throughout the film. With this film, it's just Arthur Fleck.
Yeah.
It's him the whole time, and you just see his whole transition into the end, and it's just
Speaking
phenomenal.
of the end,
Oh,
this movie got so good. I loved the Zorro part. I like that threw me for such a loop. Right at the end of the movie,
Holy crap.
when the city is burning,
Yep.
he's already murdered the talk show host, and then just out of nowhere, they cut to the marquee with the Zorro, and the camera pans down. I'm like, holy shit, they're going there.
They really
We're
did.
doing the Death of the Waynes. They're coming out of the Zorro movie. Holy crap! And he goes into the alley, and it's not Joaquin Phoenix that kills Thomas and Martha Wayne. It's somebody
Just
in a Joker
following,
mask,
yeah.
a random guy in a Joker mask.
Right?
Well, that's also how it was in the '89 film. It was just some thug.
Well, no, in the '89 film, it was Jack Nicholson. It was Jack Napier.
It wasn't, I think.
Yeah, it was. No, it was Jack Napier that
All right, well.
killed.
All right,
But
well,
Arthur Chill, like in the other ones, it was Arthur Chill. Or Arthur Chill?
I think that sounds right.
Yeah. Anyway, Chill. Joe Chill.
We'll go
Joe
with
Chill.
that.
all right. So you have went around the room and asked us what we felt about it. I want to know what you feel about it.
I
What do
mean,
you feel about the Joker.
I was absolutely blown away by the film.
Yeah.
And my expectations were crazy high. Have been for a year. I was, like a lot of people, wondering, because when I saw the trailers, I was so blown away by the trailers. Probably like a lot of you guys. When I saw that first trailer, that beautiful trailer of him dancing down the stairs, I was like, there's no way this movie's going to live up to my expectations. Because like I saw the trailer, I'm like, this is the movie I want. I'm probably not going to get it. I got it in spades.
No kidding.
The score.
Oh
my God. The score for this movie, just that
good.
long cello draw
Awesome.
was just whoa.
You know what's funny is Kyra was just telling me earlier how she's been listening to the score like
Yeah.
on the
no,
trains.
ever,
Oh,
yeah, because they just like released it on like Apple Music, Spotify, and stuff. And I've been listening to. I take the train everywhere in Chicago,
Yeah.
and I've been listening to it in transit, and it's been kind of gloomy here lately. And like, I don't know if that's just perfect timing, but I've been like on the train, just looking out the window, like, holy crap, like. Am I okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I mean,
Is
the
there
score-
somebody
the score
gonna
was
murder
beautiful.
me now?
yeah, right. It
wasn't
it's
upbeat
great.
at all. It was just
No.
like it was just one long string on a cello. It was
I will
like
say,
the whole score.
I will most definitely see it again, and I
Yeah.
think no offense to everyone here. Next time I see it, I'm going to see it by
Alone?
myself.
yeah.
That makes
Yeah,
sense.
that's what I
See
did
it by
first,
myself
yeah.
and just get pray that I take my pills prior to that.
Take your
Aw.
pills.
And just enjoy. I'm gonna get a big tub of popcorn, so it's good. It's all gonna be. It's good. It was that movie
Extra
blew
butter.
me away.
It really did blow me away.
Blew
And it
me
didn't.
away.
I didn't. I walked out of it like, oh my god! Like the three of us clapped. We're the only people in the theater that clapped when it was over.
Really?
I felt weird clapping,
definitely-
but-
yeah.
And I was totally great coming out of it. I was like, oh my god, it was such an amazing movie. It wasn't until this morning when I started rethinking it and preparing for the show that I really started feeling a little icky. Like, wow, that
Yeah.
movie was like
Dark.
that
Dark.
took a chunk out of me.
Right.
There's really never been any. Well, besides like Taxi Driver, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
Speaking of Taxi Driver,
Yeah.
let's talk about the elephant in the room, Robert De Niro's role
Oh,
in the
God.
movie.
Okay, if I had to say, and I think we're all pretty much in agreement, the one negative I have about the film was the casting of Robert De Niro. I understand you wanted to have another movie star.
Right.
It helps for buzz,
For sure.
but that was the one part. And Sean, I think you agree with me, Kyra.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we all
as soon
agree.
as you
Yeah.
saw, because you get so lost in Joaquin Phoenix's role, like
Yeah.
immediately. You don't see Joaquin Phoenix, you see Arthur Fleck the entire time.
Oh yeah.
But as soon as you see Robert De Niro on the TV and Robert De Niro on the soundstage, it just kind of took me out of the majesty of it.
Definitely.
I was like, oh crap, I'm watching a movie.
Right.
And I like Robert De Niro. Love
Yeah.
Robert De Niro.
Love him.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
It was so great to see his brain blow out.
Kyra, what do you think?
Was
What do you,
not
That was-
Kyra,
expecting that.
Kyra, what do you
Wasn't
think about Robert De Niro's role in this? Like,
I mean, it's hard to watch Robert De Niro. You just love Robert De Niro. You grow up seeing all his movies,
Right,
and you
yeah,
love
absolutely.
him, and you just cherish him as an actor. And I mean, even with The Irishman coming up, you just look forward to everything he's doing. But like, I don't know. In The Joker, I was just like,
Didn't
is
like
this
him.
the one situation where I'm not gonna like him?
Well, it's
That's
kinda-
the
you know,
worst
it's
for
weird.
me,
That's
you know?
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
It was
the
just
same thing.
it was just the fact that it was him. You know,
Right.
the fact that he's such a
Yeah.
recognizable name, it just kind of took me out of it. But I did love.
Definitely.
Let's talk because this is going to go on forever. We can talk about this forever. I do want to talk just really quick about that final scene
Yeah.
when he's on the Tonight Show. I forget the name of the
Oh
name of the
gosh,
show.
Marvin.
The
The
something,
whole
Mar-
time
yeah.
going up to it, he's practicing killing himself.
Yeah.
That whole scene, may I say,
When-
that whole scene was messed up.
When
where
he's
just doing
he's
his
pretending,
speech.
he's practicing, he's going through his motions. This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to tell a knock-knock
The
joke,
joke,
then I'm going to
yeah.
blow my brains
That
out.
was
Practiced it over.
That was a total mirror image on Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
At that moment.
Good point. That's
Exactly.
like how Taxi Driver ends. Is
Right.
the dude blows his own brains out. Or no, he gets did he blow his own brains out in Taxi
Yeah.
Driver?
Yeah, I
Oh
think
no,
it
no.
is.
Well,
Oh.
he gets blown. No, but
Cops blow him away.
But I'm talking about once he holds his guns that he got. He feels the power that he has,
Yeah.
and he's also batshit crazy. And at that point is when that movie just takes
Yeah.
a fucking turn.
When he's
Right.
sitting on the couch and he starts talking about how dirty and how horrible and how messed up it is out there, and he just decides at the last second, I'm not going to kill myself. I'm going to kill this guy.
That's beautiful.
It was just like
gotta see
I,
it.
I
It's
could
like
kind of
watching-
see it coming, but even seeing it coming, it still just blew me away when I saw it. No pun intended.
Special effects were great though on the nice.
There's a lot of blood.
headshot. Great special
It
effects
was
on the
just
headshot.
not too much, just like a perfect
It,
amount.
it
and
looked
then-
realistic.
Amazingly
Good.
directed film.
Absolutely.
Amazingly written film. And we could talk about this. It's going to be
I
a
know.
50-minute
I
show.
know.
But even just
continue
the
this after.
attention to detail, like Shauna, you were talking about.
Yeah.
The part when his buddies from his old job come back with the you got the little person and the big person. The fact that he locked the
I
chain.
know.
When they walked in and he locked the chain, Shauna, you noticed as soon as he
Okay,
walked in, he
yeah.
locked the chain.
Hold on, I got to talk about this. So I noticed instantaneously when they walked in. I'm sure a lot of people did.
Yeah.
When they walked into the door, Joaquin, or not Joaquin, shoot, I forgot his
Arthur
name.
Fleck.
Arthur, thank you. Arthur put the chain lock on, and I went, that poor
not a
Little
dwarf guy is
person.
not going to be able to get out of that room. I
think
mean,
he's
you know
American.
something
He's
bad's
called
going to
American.
happen. And I was just thinking that the entire time. And so then when you see Arthur
Going in,
murdering the other
Yeah.
guy,
Yeah.
and then that's all that's going through my head. I'm like, and then when
This
he
guy's
tells
not getting out.
right, when he tells him, no, you're free to
High
go.
rise.
And I went, is this going to be a faux pas? Like, are they
they
going
gonna
to
mess up?
screw
Yeah.
up and he's just going to walk out the door? I'm like, no, I saw him
Right.
lock that
Oh,
lock.
yeah.
And then sure enough, he goes to open the door and it's
You
still
were nice to
chained
me, and
shut.
he lets him go.
He says, Arthur, I can't
reach the chain."
the chain.
Aw.
Can
Were you guys laughing during that part?
No.
'Cause
No.
I was scared.
Am
I was
just
scared for the
sick?
guy.
I guess I'm sick.
I was
because
scared for the guy.
was-
I thought
I was
Arthur
laughing.
was gonna like change his mind at the last second. Say, yeah, I'm gonna kill you.
I didn't think he was going to because he was always nice.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the beginning.
He
they
said,
didn't talk
"You're
a
the only
lot,
one
but-
who's always good to me."
Right, and I feel like he never really like crossed any lines. He never made any jokes about him, which I think is important with somebody who has bad mental health.
Yeah.
Like they notice those little details of people who have wronged them
Mm-hmm.
that don't really have to. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Let me ask you this.
My eye on you,
I was
Tara.
laughing though. I thought it was so funny.
All right.
To
Him in the
everybody
corner
that won't
crying. He was
subscribe.
like,
Let me ask you one more question.
Yeah.
Who here saw it coming that Zazie Beetz' character, all those dates they went on, all that memory was all in his head? Did anybody see that
Nope.
coming? Was that a surprise to everybody?
Absolute surprise, 100%.
That blew me away.
I mean,
the Fight Club
yeah.
moment where you're like, holy crap, none of that really happened.
It was, yeah, absolutely a Fight Club moment.
Yeah.
I
Never
mean,
seen
I was
Fight
just kind of like, oh my God,
Shut
was
up.
I watching the same movie this whole time? Like, did I
Yeah.
miss something? I know I went to the bathroom like one time. I'm like,
Right.
wait, did I miss a whole part? Like, was
Shauna
he
did the same
imagining
thing.
things?
I did the
Right? I'm
exact
like,
same thing.
Wait a second. But I mean,
Yep.
I don't know. I love Joaquin Phoenix. I understand why somebody would be like, wow,
Yeah.
okay. They would see the beauty and the madness,
See-
which is what I do in my real life. So I understand why she
I was
would be going on
wondering,
dates.
like the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, I'm looking at Zazie Beetz' character,
Yeah.
this single mother with a kid living in
Right.
a really bad part of Gotham City.
Yeah.
What kind of bad mother are you to just start going out on dates with this
this-
weird psycho dude
Right.
you
Lives
saw in
down
an
the
elevator? I'm
hall,
like,
yeah.
what is the matter with you? And then it all clicked once you find out that it was all in his head.
Yeah, when he walks in that apartment
When
and
he walks
just sits
in,
on the couch and he's soaked
That
from the rain.
was, oh my God.
That was
That blew my mind.
bone-chilling.
When
I
she
was
walks
like,
in and
yeah.
he's sitting on the couch, and I'm like, oh, okay, she's going to see
Right,
him.
she's gonna go comfort
She's like,
him. Yeah.
your name's Arthur, right? You live down the hall.
That's
It's
what
like,
I
oh my
thought I-
God,
that's
they're
what
going
you're
I
there.
like,
to the bathroom.
oh, that's when the switch went off in my head. I'm
Yeah.
like, shit. Like,
Yeah.
he's
So
wet.
sad,
Wow. Yeah, it was really sad. Honestly,
great.
I felt for him then.
It's one of those movies where you as bad as the guy was, you really feel for him.
And
Yeah.
It was done so perfectly
absolutely.
that you feel for. I wouldn't even call him a villain. You feel bad for the guy that you know will eventually become this murdering psychopath, the Joker.
In my opinion, I feel like that's what makes a great movie is one that you go into knowing that this actor, this character is the villain. But then you
resonate with him.
You're like, this guy
that's writing,
has had some crazy crap happen to him in his lifetime, and he's just it's just unfortunately one bad circumstance after another, and it just created this monster.
Right? Like what else do you expect him to
exactly.
become?
Like,
so good.
At that point,
Andy, I'm going to let you close it up. Before we get to our Star Wars talk.
There's more.
This just there has been a lot of hype around this film, and the devotion and just the soul-crushing ability that Joaquin Phoenix gives. And there's been stories of him snapping while he was on set.
Really?
Know,
has there really? I didn't hear
where
about
he's
that.
like so devoted to a role, and some grip comes and will do some wrong crap, and he would totally just flip out and just leave the set.
Oh, that's great.
It's all devotion to the role.
Yeah, and that was a point of how much he gave to the role, how much of his physical being that the movie kicked ass, man. He was so awesome.
There you have it. The movie kicked ass. He was so awesome.
Summed up.
Put that right on the poster.
I agree. I mean, Andy summed it up. No, I agree with him 100%.
So, guys, this has been really long. Let us know in the comments section. What did you think of Joker? Are you a Joker fan? Did you like the movie? Did you not like the movie? It's very divisive. A lot of fans are loving it. Critics are kind of 50-50. They're split down the middle. Let us know what you guys think in the comments section if you've made it through this entire chunk of this video, which you probably haven't. We're going to go ahead and close it up with, in honor of Force Friday. It's Force Friday weekend, man.
Right?
Happy Force Friday weekend to
It snuck
everybody,
up on
guys.
us.
By the way, it totally snuck up on me. I forgot.
It's so
It wasn't
soon.
until Thursday that I realized that this week was Force Friday weekend,
my
triple
gosh.
Force Friday.
That's a Disney thing, though.
It is,
Yeah,
but it's a
definitely
great
marketing,
time to
but-
go buy toys and go
Right.
downtown and go
Oh,
to
for
Target,
sure.
The one
go to the
time a
Disney
year.
store. But so we didn't get a trailer this weekend. I thought we might have because it was Force Friday, because there was that Empire Weekly or Empire Monthly, Empire Magazine spread that they did.
Yeah.
Right.
Usually, once you get the magazine spreads and you get a bunch of posters, you get the trailer like immediately. And
Right,
the fact
right
that it was
away.
Force Friday, I thought it was going to drop, didn't, but we did get some really cool posters. We're going to break down these posters for you. You probably saw them online. The first one were these character posters. You got a character poster for Rey, and you got a character poster for Kylo. Kind of neat, not very inspired posters. Honestly, none of these posters really inspired. The Rey one, I don't know if you can go to the Rey one. It's so bright and so blue.
Yeah.
She's just like, she's not dirty anymore. And I get it. Like, you went from dirty, sandy, Rey, and now
Rey.
she's like pristine and clean, and she's like a Clorox commercial.
Just doesn't seem right, you know? She's Mrs. Clean, I guess.
She gets no dirt in her. Like,
Right.
come on.
No, and this is probably going to sound really bad, but those character posters just look like something that you would, like a T-shirt you would buy at Walmart.
Exactly.
No offense to Walmart, I
No,
love
you're
Walmart.
right.
Walmart, great
That's
value all
what-
day.
That's an
I
inspired.
love Walmart,
That's an
but
inspired
I'm just saying
opinion.
that, like, I think that's what they look like.
Right.
They don't look like.
They're not
Disney
appealing.
They
Oh,
look
yeah.
like a Walmart T-shirt.
Yeah.
You
Now-
wouldn't walk by it and think they're like brand new.
All right, well, I don't want to get on a rant because we got a lot of posters to get into. The second one was the one with the clone troopers at the bottom. Now, this one dropped a few months ago, and everybody saw it, and everybody they weren't sure, is it a fan poster? Well, now we know officially that this is a legitimate poster. It's the one that everybody knows. Everybody's analyzed the hell out of this poster to death. But now that we know that the red troopers at the bottom are clone troopers, this is probably my favorite of all the posters.
Definitely.
And it's the one that we've seen so many times. You see C-3PO's got the bowcaster. He's got a weapon in his hand.
Which
You
is
get to
weird.
see, which is cool as shit. The next one that dropped this week is this double poster, which is cool. It's kind of a play on the clone trooper poster,
Right.
where you've got Kylo and you got Rey kind of going side by side. It's a big wide poster. I assume it'll be probably put in position as two separate posters put
Sure.
next to each other. They're
Right.
pretty cool. Not great. This next one, the one with the Knights of Ren.
Yes.
I was so excited that they did a poster with the Knights of Ren. They made it
Yeah.
official that, okay, the Knights of Ren are going to be in this.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. Knights of Ren. Shauna's like, probably can't find the photo of it.
There it is.
There it is. Found it. Again, looks like a Walmart T-shirt. Does it not, Kyra?
Yeah, I wasn't like impressed. I didn't even think they were gonna go there with the Knights of Ren for like
I was
Force
hoping they
Friday.
would.
I mean, I'm grateful they did, but
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't know. It
It's ugly
wasn't like
poster.
if I was like walking by it in a row of T-shirts, I would be like, oh, this is brand new. They're trying to,
It
Yeah,
looks like a bootleg
Yeah,
T-shirt.
very
It's
just a
not a
couple
good
colors, a little
That
yeah,
sounds
just
terrible. Like I
yeah.
said, we love Walmart, but it just looks like a Walmart T-shirt.
It
It,
does.
looks like
Love Walmart.
a $10 T-shirt versus a $30 T-shirt.
Yeah.
that
Well,
you
the
buy
last
from.
one, I'm glad it exists.
Right.
I'm glad it's there. I'm glad we have a poster that says Kylo Ren Supreme Leader. That's really cool, but again, not a good. None of these posters I would frame and put on my wall.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the test of a poster.
Mm-hmm.
Would you buy it? Would you put it in a frame? Like that
Right.
Alien Covenant poster that was just an absolute work of art. Movie sucked. Poster was great. I would put that on my wall. None of these really do it, but it is kind of cool to see Kylo Ren Supreme Leader
Later,
on there. Andy, any of these posters blow your mind?
No. We were talking about the.
No, Chuck.
How you made a comparison to a Walmart shirt to the Kylo
what it looks
Ren.
like.
Yeah, that's all I have to say. I will
Isn't
say.
that very good?
I will say when I look to a movie poster, I look through like Infinity War.
Right.
Where you have like 60 people mirrored around one image. There's so much depth and colors going on. This was just like
Very
like
bland.
some like silk screen.
Well, I applaud
That
the
they
fact that
shed
they're
out.
at least breaking the mold because
That's right.
we've seen every Marvel poster that comes out is pretty much identical.
Yeah, the same.
It's exactly what you said.
Always,
It's the
yeah.
montage of characters, and that's all you get. So at least they
Mm-hmm.
tried something different, but I think they kind of shit the bed on this one.
Definitely. Definitely.
I'm still excited about the movie.
Oh,
and
for
I
sure.
I think we might see a trailer on Monday, or if not this Monday, then maybe next Monday.
Yes.
Because
I hope. I think
Disney owns
definitely.
ESPN, and I think we're going to get Monday Night Football trailer drop just like we did the last couple of years.
Interesting.
They're going to do that. Remember last year they marched all the stormtroopers out on the field?
Yeah.
Yes.
And they showed it. They showed the trailer at the
Yeah.
Monday Night Football game.
awesome.
Okay.
It forces me to watch stupid ass football.
Force.
Ah.
You said force.
Oh, we got to end on a pun? Oh, no. Well, guys, that's our incredibly long show here on Chuckload of Comics. Thanks for watching. You're probably not getting to this end. This is probably like a 50-minute show. Had a lot of stuff to talk about. I want to go around. Andy, thank you so much for being here. He's all talked
Right.
out. Shauna,
Lost his voice.
Shauna, thanks a lot for doing what you do every single week.
Of course.
And
Absolutely.
Kyra, oh my God, Kyra, thanks for coming back.
Thank you. I
So
missed
glad
you
to have you.
guys. Yay. It was so much fun.
Awesome.
All right, guys. So join us here. We're going to be at Ace Comic-Con this coming weekend. Come find us at booth 1008. We're going to be broadcasting live from Ace Comic-Con all weekend long. Come find us. Come say hi. Come talk about the Joker because that's all we're going to be doing the entire weekend at Ace Comic-Con. We got some great guests. So, guys, have a fantastic weekend. Be sure to click that subscribe button, and we will see you next weekend at Ace Comic-Con. Everybody wave. Goodbye.